Many members of the Methodist Church are divided this morning. Last week, Methodists voted against allowing LGBT clergy and same-sex weddings in the church. That decision led to this next segment. Here's author and producer Katie Sherrod with My Voice, My Opinion.
I have a message for the heartbroken LGBTQ Methodist. While it must seem as if your own church has rejected you, God has not. God loves you just as you are. To those quoting Leviticus to justify this cruel vote, I ask, do you eat cheeseburgers or wear blended fabrics? Then keep your biblical illiteracy to yourself. The Bible refers only to homosexual acts between men every time in the context of idolatry, as acts of cult prostitution. But that context is nothing like the permanent, faithful, and stable same-sex relationships advocated by LGBTQ Methodists and Episcopalians and other faithful Christians. To equate them violates the integrity of the biblical witness. When someone is sealed in baptism as Christ's own forever, that seal is a cross, not an asterisk. My Methodist friends, you are not alone in your grief. God is with you, holding you like the beloved child you are. I am Katie Sherrod, and this is My Voice, My Opinion.